Alright, Shalom. Go lo Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakah HaKodash. That will honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the house of David, the hopeful elect. You I came out there pushing his word in truth and sincerity. To those you liken unto the speckled birds gathered to the four corners, speaking in different tongues unto you, we say Shalom. This is going to be a continuation of the series Never Trust Thine Enemy. Alright, which I had, I was doing on my main channel, all right, which unfortunately is no longer active, all right, but we're going to continue it, all right, and this is going to be going into barbershops and bloodletting, all right. So Lord's will, this will be edifying, all right. So this is Sirach chapter 12, starting at verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked wherewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? So one that goeth to a sinner and is devout with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. All right, and basically, I was going into the Linnaeus classification system. All right, which is basically how Esau came up with the social construct of white, black, etc. All right, but one of the points that I wanted to grab, all right, was right here. Okay, because basically, all right, what this Edomite did, all right, when he was creating this classification, all right, and this is the 10th edition, all right, so this, like we always say, this classification system really started in the 1600s, all right, but he furthered this system, all right, in 1758. Now in 1758, as you can see here, the previous editions classified humans with four quick lines. The 10th edition devoted 5 whole pages, all right. So the system is the same, all right, in the sense that he classified it this way, all right, sluggish, neglectful, you see that, going into black, that social construct, and then white, wise, inventor, protected, governed, blue eyes, you see that. So this is how it all began, all right, the Linnaeus classification system and the construct of race. All right, now the thing about skin color and medical temperament and body posture is that he corresponded this to the four medieval humors, and I'm going to go more into this in a different lesson. All right, but basically the four medieval humors, all right, or humorism, was a system of medicine detailing a supposed makeup and workings of the human body, adopted by ancient Greek and Roman physicians and philosophers. Humorism began to fall out of favor in the 1800s. All right, but basically this is going back. All right, and we're going to get a few key points out of it. All right, before we actually get all right bloodletting. All right, in barbershops and the significance of it. All right, so let's get it. So, medieval medicine is famous in the popular imagination for its gore, strangeness, lack of similarities to modern medical practices. All right, you might have heard of bloodletting, commonly practiced throughout Europe in the Middle Ages and the early modern period to treat illnesses such as the plague and smallpox and even epilepsy. Bloodletting was so common that it contributed to the death of George Washington during an attempt to treat a minor illness. All right, and we'll just get a simple definition on what bloodletting is. It's the practice of withdrawing blood from a person's veins for therapeutic reasons. All right, basically, this concept of the pure humors, it, we'll get it, but basically, they say that if the body has too much blood, it was understood that an excess of blood could lead to imbalanced humors and therefore sickness. So basically, they had to take blood out of your body because you had too much, and that's why you're sick. all right, which shows this guy's the devil, all right, because the scripture clearly tells us, to use herbs, all right. Herbs are what we should be using, all right, to to heal ourselves, man, all right. And matter of fact, really, I could go ahead and you know get it. Um, but you brothers already know. All right. Now, just to continue to get the point. All right. Just like it says, matter of fact, and really we could get wisdom of Solomon. All right. 16. The water. Here it is. All right. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things. All right. So ultimately, it's the word. All right, that heals all things. All right. But to show how low level this dude is, all right, they wouldn't even use that which the Lord gave us. All right. Let's continue. All right. Despite this, the practice was used until the 1920s in multiple procedures, particularly cardiac treatments. All right. And then we'll actually get into it. The belief in this was introduced by Hippocrates and his successors in the age of antiquity as part of a process of combining naturalistic knowledge, philosophy, and ancient science. All right. Just witchcraft. All right. To devise a complete understanding of the human body and how it interacts with the world around it. All right. Now, they continue to go into it. All right. Blood, bile, black bile, phlegm, these different things. And basically those substances were organized around the four elements, being cold, hot, moist, and dry, as well as around the four seasons, around the planets, all this other stuff, man. All right. Now, the point, really that I wanted to grab, all right, is, when we get down to here. All right. So if imbalance meant disease, all right, attempts needed to be made by individuals and persons knowledgeable in medicine to restore balance. All right, now this is not medicine. All right, let's go ahead and get it, man. All right, matter of fact, Salakia. That's not what I want. I want etymology. All right, medicine, medical treatment, cure, or healing. All right, one thing about Esau, his medicine does not cure. All right, his medicine does not heal. All right, and everything that he provides. All right, keeps you in a low state. You know, and also as you see here, medical art. You see, it's not a remedy, man. All right, nothing that he provides actually heals or cures or is a treatment. All right, it's definitely potions. All right, it's definitely an art. You know, it's practice of witchcraft. All right, pharmakia. Pharmacy. Etc. All right. Um, Now, if we continue down here, all right, which is the point that I wanted to grab. All right, basically, bloodletting was such a key that so-called barber surgeons featured prominently into the early modern period, and indeed, the red and white pole outside modern barbershops symbolizes this profession. Red for the bloodlet, and white for the bandages that were needed after. All right. To modern readers, bloodletting seems foolish and risky. Of course it is, man, because it's foolish. All right. The life of the body is in the blood. All right. So you don't heal yourself by removing the life out of you. All right, as Scripture says. All right. Let's grab that. It's not even opening up. Salakia. Okay. Leviticus 17:11. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. Right. That's why Yahweh sacrifice was so beautiful. All right. Because without the shedding of blood, let's get it. Look at Hebrews chapter 9, verse 22. And almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without shedding of blood is no remission. All right. You see that, man? Now, ultimately, These barbershops, man, were basically known as these barber surgeons previously. All right, and basically their whole concept was removing that which is necessary, or needful for you. And basically the same thing goes today for these modern barbershops, man. All right, what do? They remove that which is needful for you. They mar your the sides of your head. They destroy your beards. They destroy that which is needful. That which is righteous. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing that these devils were doing back in the day, man. All right, it's the same thing, removing the life out of you. All right. Here's another article we have here. Have you seen the red, white, and blue revolving barber pole outside your favorite barbershop? Most people know that those poles represent barbershops, but did you know there's actually a secret, all forgotten meaning behind them? You see, and there always is, man. All right, now they say barbers were the original doctors, but they weren't. All right, because as Sirach 19:22 says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. All right, so they were not doctors. All right, now in this truest sense, all right, in its truest sense, all right, they actually were, all right, because they were licensed, to practice this particular medicine, all right. But really, doctor refers to doctoring, or falsifying, all right. I'll just do definition and see if it pops up. All right. To change the content or appearance of in order to deceive. All right, that's really what doctoring is. All right, it has really nothing to do with you know being qualified for medicine and all that. All right. Now again, as we've already established, they don't heal anything. All right. But at the end of the day, these people doctor everything. All right, and it's the same concept. They doctored barbershops up, to now be these places where they remove that which is needful for you, which as a man, that's that manly appearance, that's that obedience to Yahweh Shem Shai, to maintain your beard, all right, to do that which is righteous, all right, and like we may mention, they weren't doctors in the sense of providing healing, man, all right. It is believed that barbering dates back to ancient Egypt, all right, which we are aware of. Barbering could be considered one of the oldest skilled trades, etc., etc. Now, during the Middle Ages, they were actually referred to as barber surgeons, all right. The local barber surgeon was responsible for grooming, dressing, and styling men, as well as performing surgery and dentistry. Their skill and steady hand with a razor was indispensable in treating soldiers injured in a battle, and barber surgeons were often relied on to perform difficult and also gruesome procedures. You see, because at the end of the day, all right, the Linnaeus classification goes back to what? The four medieval humors, right? And as we've already established, one of those was bloodletting, all right? And these common practices are known for what? They're known for the gore, the strangeness, all right, and its lack of similarities to modern medical practices, man, because the way that they were doing things back then was completely different to how things are done now. All right, now you do have certain um, things that Esau is good with, in regards to his medicine. There are certain things that he does, which is simple, right? Like if you have vitamin C deficiency, they say drink orange juice and get your vitamin, the simple things on a low level, but anything past that, man, he makes sure to bring forth, his pharmakeia or his witchcraft. All right. Um, Now, uh, going back to Washington, that night they let 40% of Washington's blood, proving detrimental to his chances of survival. However, ancient authorities did not fear bloodletting because it was believed that blood was constantly being made in the liver and would replenish the depleted stores. All right, so you see all of this, man. All right, just goes to show how wicked. All right, not only Esau is. All right, but even going past that. All right, even predating this, because this is really a modern version. All right, but I just wanted to share it through the spirit, man, because I didn't know that the actual pole was what this went to, man. All right. Around the Middle Ages, barber surgeons quickly evolved to become an important part of the community. All right, they would perform difficult surgeries, blah blah. But this is a part of bloodletting. All right, which again, they basically believe that if you had too much blood, the best way to cure it is to remove the blood out of your body. All right, which shows that this dude's spirit is not upright within him, man. All right, because as we've already established, all right, life is in the blood, man. All right, so you see here the white and red stripes. All right, this is where it all came from, man. And this shows, all right, as well, that Esau is the damn devil, all right, and that he's in control, all right. Because at the end of the day, this is what they was doing back then, the same way Greeks, the Romans, all these other things that are still here today. And guess what? This is still here today. All right, the same way that they copied after the Egyptians, the obelisks, the pyramids, all of that, man. All right, hey, and that's the spirit, the eagle. You see that? The Wadi Halbashim Yashabashim Kahakodash. I didn't even realize that, man. So hey, look at that, the eagle. Babylon, Esau. You see, so the same thing, man. Today a barber can no longer practice medical procedures. All right. However, a barber is still a very specific trade that requires specific training. Yada yada yada. And what do they do, man? All right, they do the same thing. That was being done before. They remove that which is essential for you. Blood is essential for you. All right. And the same thing in these barbershops, man. They destroy your beard. All right. They do that which is against Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. All right. This is part of this is our heritage, man. All right, you shouldn't be going over there marring your beards. All right, putting baldness to your head, all these different things, man. So the same thing, same way, man. You see that taking that life out of you. Back then it was literal, but now it's spiritual in a sense. That's what these barbershops do, man. It's spiritual. You go there, you destroy your beard. You go look like an Edomite. You put baldness to your head so that way you can have a particular appearance, and be esteemed in this society. And then it's like you get them good looks and all that, and the shaving. So it's the same thing, but instead of that literal blood coming out of you, now it's spiritually. You're spiritually being drained. All right, and that's why you're in that continued death state. So I found it interesting, man. I'm still going into this, because like I said, I'm gonna, Lord's will, go into the lineage classification system. But that was just one of the points that I found very interesting, about it, man. So Lord's will, you was edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Hakodash, double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the house of David, the hopeful elect. Until next time, we say Shalom wa Barakatham.